Hello and welcome to another video. This will be another Boogie2988 reaction. This will actually go on my channel because what the video is about. So I guess there's gonna be an adpocylypse 3.0 apparently, but it's not like the first two. This is completely different. I'm reacting to this video because Drama Alert hasn't uploaded a video talking about this yet, so this is the only one out there. Oh, and if I have enough battery power, I may react to the Drama Alert video too, but that I'll put on Tyler's channel. But this video will be going on my channel, and here we go.
Before I start this video, I wanted to let you know I'm leaving my opinions completely out of this. If you want to check Twitter, you'll see what my opinions are, but I'm going to try to take a factual and objective look at the situation. So if I say something in this video that upsets you, please keep in mind that's you, not me. I'm just being objective. Well, today is an interesting day on YouTube. If you follow my channel, you'll know that earlier today I uploaded the Francis video. This is my Francis shirt. It immediately got demonetized. I appealed it and it immediately got monetized again. But that led me to Twitter to talk about that. And I found out that we were in the middle of what appears to be the adpocylypse.
At least we got that Francis video monetized again before.
So this story is still developing. So I'm going to talk to you as it's developing, as I'm learning about this right now.
Plus you got Storyfire.
I'm going to share with you the information
to be on
as I get it.
But
it looks like YouTube is changing forever for the worse again today. Before we start on this, I want to say I'm at a point now where I'm worried about my own income. But I don't want you to worry about me. I want you to worry about other smaller creators. There's a lot of ways to help smaller creators.
Of course
you want to help me directly, there's a join button down there below. You could download the Storyfire app on iOS and on Android. That is where I'll be posting a lot of my Francis videos that are no longer fit for YouTube if you want to see them. But other smaller creators, you might want to subscribe to them on Twitch. You might want to hit their join buttons if they have them. You might want to find their Patreons, because this is going to hit, I think, YouTube as a whole, just like it did the last two times, and I don't know that a lot of channels will
actually the second time will only hit half of YouTube.
A lot won't be. So this entire thing is centered around a war between a specific YouTuber by the name of Steven Crowder and a Vox journalist by the name of Carlos, I forget his last name. But basically, these two have been going at it for a while. Steven Crowder, as part of his show, will debunk a lot of the things that this particular writer over at Vox says.
Yeah, and Steven Crowder's about to pass McJuggernaut
is not my cup of tea.
After
He
this
is
situation
very
happened,
angry,
him
very
and that
loud,
other guy that's
kind
responsible
of
for this,
tacky,
in my opinion,
vitriol.
I'll say my opinion.
I don't really get in on that kind of thing. I don't like that style of content. It does nothing for me. Steven Crowder is also very political, and if you know anything about me, I despise modern day politics. I try to stay out of it as much as humanly possible.
And I'm not talking about videos, I'm talking about channels.
But basically, Steven Crowder continued to call out the folks over at Vox, and the folks over at Vox decided they didn't like it very much and decided to start speaking out about it. And they had a few specific things that I think are fair complaints. One of the biggest complaints is that Steven Crowder would continuously attack this specific writer. And he would always debunk everything this guy wrote. But here's the thing. There's plenty of people who do that on YouTube. Steven Crowder certainly isn't the only one. There are people who, every tweet I make, every video I make, they make a video about it. That's just kind of part of being a public figure. That's kind of the thing. When you make movies, when you make videos, when you make articles, when you make tweets, people have the right to criticize and discuss them. But the author of those articles would also take offense at the way that Steven Crowder would phrase his content. He was often referring to the guy as a lisping Mexican queer, things along that lines. And Steven Crowder does have a defense for that, but at the end of the day, there's probably better ways to address the guy. He has a name, for example. But then there's also the issue of this t-shirt. And this t-shirt is being sold by Steven Crowder through a lot of links on his YouTube videos. And YouTube has decided they have taken very big issue with this t-shirt. So here's the thing about this t-shirt that a lot of people are discussing. It says socialism is for
I don't think his channel should get demonetized, but kind of that happened at the same time.
Obviously, at first glance, it looks like a homophobic slur, but in reality, it is actually a reference to Che Guevara's capture and his execution in Higuera, Bolivia, which means the fig tree in Spanish. Now, if I were to offer my...
And see, this is a prime example why I prepared myself deep in the Afghan community, too. It's just everywhere else on YouTube is negative and bullshit. I have noticed that.
Opinion here, and I'm not going to. I would probably say something along the lines of, I don't know who would want to design a shirt that at first glance looks like a homophobic slur, but isn't. I don't know why
What
someone would
happened
want to
to
wear a
the
shirt
good
that at
old
first glance
YouTube?
looks like
Right.
a homophobic slur.
That's why I
and
help
isn't. And I would
start
probably
updates to
condemn
its
that
max.
shirt even existing, but I'm going to keep my opinion to myself here. But it's not my opinion
Like
that matters.
YouTube,
It obviously
connect
is
with
YouTube's
move
opinion that
everything there
matters.
except
And
for
they
my
have
streaming. My
decided to
streaming
revoke
will go
Steven
with
Crowder's
Twitch.
ads until he takes down links to the t-shirt that they believe are homophobic. Now, once again, I don't want to be involved in the politics. I don't want the kind of vitriol that Steven Crowder's fans could bring to me. I don't want the kind of vitriol that Vox's fans could bring to me. I do not want to be caught in that crossfire at all. So I would not normally make this video, but the reach for this is much bigger than that. YouTube is once again basically updating their community guidelines to get rid of what they are calling hate content on the website. Their goal here is to remove more hateful and supremacist content from YouTube.
Not worried.
And the way they plan to accomplish this is pretty much by staying on course from what they've always done, removing violating content, raising up authoritative content, and reducing the spread of borderline content and rewarding trusted creators. And all of this may sound great on paper, but the problem is this is YouTube we're talking about, and when YouTube does something like this, they tend to do it with automation, they tend to do it without somebody being personally involved, and they tend to do it on a much broader, wider scale than you would anticipate. And I guess they've already released the dogs of war, or should I say the bots of war, because we're seeing all kinds of people getting demonetized. Here's Ford Fisher, who is a journalist who captures and documents activism and extremism, and he's been caught up in the crossfire, getting his entire channel demonetized. Keemstar has some screenshots of some channels that have been demonetized. And again, I don't know if these channels are violating the new policies or not, or whether or not these are overcorrections like the Ford Fisher situation. It's hard to say for sure. We would have to go in and look at each individual channel. But this does mean there is a chance that channels that shouldn't get demonetized, who are not violating the current guidelines, are going to get demonetized. And that's just no good. And if we use YouTube standing record as evidence for this, they always overcorrect. They always overreach. We've seen Minecraft channels get completely demonetized. We've seen channels that are not doing the kind of content get demonetized.
If any of you guys noticed that there's a mayhem that's coming in the background of Boogie's video here on his shelf, that's funny because that's what it seems like it is happening with YouTube right now.
That
for repetitive content. We've seen channels that have nothing to do with any negative stuff when it comes to kids.
I just had to point that out.
Comment section turned off just because kids watch those channels. So statistically speaking, YouTube will overreach here as well. And what's so crazy about this is just 24 hours ago, YouTube actually took Steven Crowder's side, saying they were going to do nothing. So this is flip-flopping on top of all of this. Now the good news is we don't know how widespread that will be. But I think even if you do agree with what they're doing with Steven Crowder here, this should be a surgical incision. This should not be scorched earth, and it really seems like they're going scorched earth here. And if you completely disregard the fact that YouTube will eat itself here, as it tends to do to try to self-correct, a lot of people are speculating.
What did you say?
Vox really seems like they're going scorched earth here. And if you completely disregard the fact that YouTube will eat itself here, as it
eat itself. Eat itself. What? Are you kidding me? I blame you for that.
Tends to try to self-correct. A lot of people are speculating that Vox Media has had
I heard
for a really long time. But this is not necessarily about Steven Crowder. If you look at Vox's history of attacking PewDiePie over the next 4 or 5 years, instead of now focusing on Steven Crowder, who arguably is a much better target than PewDiePie, it seems like Vox Media has a personal vendetta. But keep in mind that Vox is a direct competitor to YouTube. This fly is killing me. Keep in mind that Vox is a direct competitor to YouTube. They sell advertisements just like YouTube. So if they can take YouTube down a couple of notches with something like this, or take YouTube down entirely, then that's just more money for them. And admittedly, it's probably more about social justice. It's probably admittedly more about just Steven Crowder. But at the end of the day, this is a win for them if YouTube chooses to apply this more broadly to a lot of other creators, and YouTube chooses to follow in some sort of here, which is what YouTube normally does. It seems like YouTube's standard policy when it comes to something like this is to try to placate the advertiser.
Because that's Tyler's server. That's funny.
Disenfranchising its creators, disenfranchising its
You're on Tyler's server.
Ultimately letting Vox win, and all you have to do is
same world as him. That's cool.
In order to get it to do
which I'm okay with.
Say what you will about Steven Crowder. Say what you will about Vox Media. At the end of the day, this battle is taking place here on YouTube, and YouTubers like you and me who are going to suffer the crossfire.
Until that
I should have went with Fallout there because I made a
glad
video
you're on that server
about
because
Fallout today.
best
So I got
person to help
demonetized.
you out once you're level 60 is Heather.
So once again, dear
like
viewer,
the
it's
outfit I
time for you
got
to reach in deep. And heck, at this point,
for
even I
starting
will
out.
take it. Find that
Back
join
there,
button
go
on
to
YouTube.
the
Get
Darkness.
YouTube Red so the advertisers are cut
I got
entirely
the
out
Cloud
of it. If
Strike
you are
stuff.
frustrated and irritated with YouTube, find some of
Yeah.
your favorite creators on Twitch. I have a Twitch channel as well. You can download the Storyfire app because
Might be
because of
my
this, a
Twitch
lot
channel,
of YouTubers are going to be moving to Storyfire. We're already in talks to some of them. You can find that on iOS. You can find that on Android. You can go to storyfire.com. Find the Patreon of creators that you like. And don't worry so much about the big creators like me because we're probably going to be fine. It's a good idea to focus on the smaller creators.
Yeah.
Especially the
So I
ones that
know
are
people like
making
you, Athbound, and
underlying
McJuggernaut's gonna be
content. You wanna
fine.
support those
John
guys, go
Muller.
ahead. I will
The
never
smaller ones,
condone
like
negative
us,
content, bullying content,
or even
hateful
with Janice
content. I hate
and,
that it was
Big
ever here on this
Stones.
platform to begin with, but there's a lot of people who aren't
Need to
hateful
be worried about
that
this.
YouTube might consider hateful, and you should take
Pretty much
care of those
anybody under a million.
now, this is a story as it stands right now. It could develop and change. I might end up having to edit this video, add comments, add things to the description, or delete stuff altogether. I don't know. But I wanted
Yes,
to talk
we'll see.
about this as quickly as possible so that you guys can be informed and hopefully help out YouTubers that you care about and help support them. And I hope that you choose to do so because we're going to need you now more than ever. Find out if one of your favorite YouTubers is being deplatformed. Find out if one of them is being demonetized. And if so, reach deep, I guess. Guys,
You
as
see,
always, thank you for watching.
Dolphins
I love you
deserve
very
it.
much, and I'll speak with you again
And
soon.
when they deserve it, right?
I know a lot of you guys think I wouldn't hurt a fly. But I'm about to kill this one. Where is it?
The fuck? Anyways, that's the end of this video. Stay tuned for the next one.